Jesse Ueda. The referee says play on. And the Netherlands have the ball. Back in the good old days, used to call them Holland, didn't they? And you still have that urge to call them Holland, but they are the Netherlands for all intents and purposes. And they've got the ball at the moment with Gakpo all the way back to Van den Ven. He will go to Van Dijk, who goes in turn back to Van Bruggen. 9 of the 11 starting today for the Dutch have either played or currently reside in the Premier League in England. They are a very experienced outfit with lots of players that play their football at the top table game. But this is a Japanese side, and those that haven't yet made it to the very top are right in the shop window to do so. This is their platform, this is their stage. The Dutch have had a lot of the ball early on. You do get the feeling that that will suit them. That was what we expected, a lot of Dutch possession. Denzel Dumfries goes back inside to Jean-Paul van Hekken. 3 of their last 5 wins, incidentally, the Dutch have come by a 4-0 goal-scoring margin against Lithuania, Finland and Malta. I'd love a 4-0 here today. I got the feeling it might be a little bit closer than that, as the orange shirts pull forward. And Reinders, this is Van Hekken, the Brighton Hove Albion player. Crescenzo Somerville on the right-hand side. Takes it back again, does Somerville from Van Hekken. Van Hekken once more on a halfway line. Cross to the captain, Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk plays it out wide. This is his Liverpool teammate, Cody Gakpo, cuts inside. He's going to launch a low ball into the box. Mallon holds it up. He's got 3 blue shirts around him. Mallon turns. Great save by the goalkeeper. Well, they shouldn't have let him turn there, Japan, and they did. They weren't tight enough. And the strength of Donyell Mallon was there for all to see. And he burst around. He turned on his right hip and got away from the defender. It just wasn't sharp enough. Wasn't tight enough there, Taniguchi. Great save by Suzuki to tip it around the post, and a really early chance there for the Dutch. And Donyell Mallon somehow wriggling his way into a shooting opportunity, and a little warning there to the Japanese defenders that they have to be tighter. Taniguchi just gave him a little too much time. He had 3 defenders around him there, Donyell Mallon. I think he's holding it up. He's going to have to give it in a minute, but he didn't. He turned. Here's Reinders with a corner on the left-hand side. Headed away powerfully by the same defender that let him turn, Taniguchi. He's headed that up towards the halfway line and straight out for a throw-in on the far side, which is the left-hand side for the Dutch. Great turn by Mallon. Brushes aside Taniguchi. Needs to put it to the side of the goalkeeper. Put it straight at him, really. It's a save that, well, it goes down as a good save, but realistically, when you slow it down and watch it from the angle behind the goal, you probably be cheeky enough to say to yourself, well, I could have probably made that save. It was straight at me. Well, he's managed to tip it away. I'd have got out of the way of it personally, because that was travelling. Anyway, Dutch didn't do anything with the corner. They are in possession at the moment, and they are on top, and they are enjoying the lion's share. And here's Somerville back into the penalty area. Somerville goes down, slides on his knees, and the ball has gone beyond him and out for a goal kick. We've played 4 minutes. Very dominant, very good start from Ronald Koeman's side. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. Oh, Koeman, well, wasn't the most popular choice as the appointment of head coach. His reputation as a coach has left a lot to be desired. He's his own man, but he is a legend as a player. And that great Dutch side of the late 80s and early 90s, what a team that was. And they were in pomp coming here in 1994, of course, weren't they? Making it all the way through to the semi-final. Japan trying to play their way out from the back. It's been won back in the midfield by Gravenberg. It has been kept in play by Hiroki Eto, and now out wide to the left-hand side. And this is with Kamada. Kamada finding Nakamura. Nakamura's been caught by Mickey van der Ven, who's been dragged over to this right-hand side for some reason. The ball went past and he took the ankle of Nakamura, and you feel that perhaps a little later in the game that might have been a yellow card for Mickey van der Ven. Perhaps a shade lucky not to get the caution, but what he has done is he's handed Japan a free kick level with the edge of the 18-yard line, right out wide on the left-hand side. two standing either side of the ball to deliver. It could be the right foot of Kamada. It could be the left foot of Kubo. Your guess is as good as mine. But this is a very dangerous position, and they're on the toes at the moment. Are the Dutch. Crescenzo Somerville is the one-man wall to deter an immediate hoist at Verbruggen's goal. It's a deep delivery to the far post, headed back across again and trying to sneak it in towards goal was Dazen made, but the flag has gone up on the far side, and I think the initial head back across from Watanabe was when the ball was out of play. A goal kick is given, and so the Dutch escape the danger of that free kick. Making some notes on a post-it note size pad is Hajime Moriyashi, who is the head coach of Japan. They've got this famous 100-year plan, haven't they, to become a force in world football. Well, this might be their chance. Amongst the crowd tonight is a number of greats. And, Wesley Sneijder's here. Edwin van der Sar's here as well. It's a free kick to the Japanese on the halfway line. A nice sneak forward here for Kamada. He's got time to just slow it down to walking pace, as if to say, come on Dutch, come and get me. Daichi Kamada takes his time. The Crystal Palace man won the Conference League with Palace, started that game as well in the midfield. Here comes the cross from the left-hand side, which is sweetly struck away by Van Dijk. Van Dijk seemed to take a little bit of a knock there. It's back on the left-hand side again with Nakamura. Forgot the ball, though. He still kept possession. Hiroki Ita. Long ball in. That's going to go behind. And not a great ball, that one, by Daichi Kamada. Straight behind for a goal kick to the Netherlands. We've played 8 minutes, and it's the Netherlands 0, Japan 0. If you are just joining us here at the Dallas Stadium, make sure you also watch the action from this Group F first stage match through your local, regional or national TV broadcaster. It's got the makings, hasn't it, of a cracking game on paper. And I think when the draw was made, this was one of the games that, for me personally, I felt that could be a really good game. And you know, so far we've seen the Dutch boss the ball, but Japan have already given us an indication that they are pretty sprightly when they've got possession as well. This is an intriguing encounter. By no means two sides matched up like for like. For example, back four for the Dutch, 3 at the back with 2 wing backs for Japan. There is ball in the feet of Frankie de Jong. Carries it across the halfway line into the centre circle. Under a little bit of pressure by Ueda. Now Mickey van der Ven looks down the line and decides he's going to go back to Virgil van Dijk. Scoops it out wide to this right-hand side, and Crescenzo Somerville. Somerville carries it forward 10 yards, turns it back to Van Hecker, who lifts a high ball out to the left-hand side. It'll be headed away by Taniguchi into touch on the far side, heading the ball away before it reached Cody Gakpo, which was the intended target. Jean-Paul Van Hecker in the centre circle. The centre circle is his oyster. Jean-Paul Van Hecker. He's not getting any press. He's not getting any company back there. As the ball was played to Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries, a couple of injury scares in the build-up to the World Cup, but he does travel, he does play, he is fit today. Japanese fans and the Dutch fans here enjoying this opening game in Group F. I don't know if you put it down as a group of death, I don't know if you believe in it, but anyway, it's a tough group to get out of, and a win today for either the Netherlands or Japan would make it a whole lot easier. Defeat on match day 1 doesn't put you out of the tournament, because there are so many third place teams that will be going through to the round of 32. Free kick taken by Zion Suzuki. It comes straight back again. Somerville will chase. Played down the line by Nakamura. Ito, Nakamura again, just coming up to the halfway line, finds a bit of space on the right-hand side for Ritsu Doan. First chance for him to get forward from the right wing-back position. He's got support from the back by Watanabe, who gets it back from Sano. Watanabe slowing things down, back inside to Daichi Kamada of Crystal Palace, wide to this near side, and Ito. And it's Nakamura back into Sano, in towards the penalty area. It's a lovely turn, and a touch from Maeda went straight into Van Hecker, who made the block. Hasn't been cleared yet though. Kamada playing it inside to Kaisho Sano, and carried across to the right hand side, tucked forward by Watanabe into the wing back Ritsu Doan. Ritsu Doan playing it wide to Kubo. Kubo has a look up, plays it into the penalty area, smashed away by Virgil van Dijk over the halfway line, and it will be cushioned back to the goalkeeper Zion Suzuki by Watanabe, and Japan will start again. Very even opening 12 minutes of this game in Group F. You're listening to independent, studio-based, off-tube commentary of the Group F match between the Netherlands and Japan at the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And Japan enjoying a lot of the ball at the moment, having seen the Netherlands have their fair share in the opening stages. Ito and Nakamura happy to keep the ball between themselves at the back. A step over was made there in hope more than expectation by Ritsu Doan, but it was read very well by Jean-Paul Van Hecker and the rear guard of four for the Dutch, who bring the ball away. They've cleared it all the way down the middle, and Suzuki, the goalkeeper, has played it out to Sano. Now Kamada. Sano again. Very well organised, this Japan side. 1-1-0 against England at Wembley. Wasn't a particularly great performance from England. That was back in March, international friendly. They've beaten Brazil. They haven't conceded a goal in their 3 wins in their 3 matches played in 2026 so far. Here's a long ball forward into Daisen Maeda. Maeda tries to get the cross in. It came off the chest of Dumfries and behind for a corner. Good play on the left-hand side by Daisen. Daisen Maeda, 28-year-old who plays for Celtic. 4 goals in his 27 matches for his country. Daisen Maeda winning the corner then. Chance for the Japanese to send their big men forward. In comes the corner from Kamada. Very deep one. Headed away forcefully by Mickey van der Ven. And it's only going to come back to them again. Onto the left-hand side again. This is Daichi Kamada. Just scoops it back out wide to Nakamura. Nakamura holds it up. Gives it to Kubo. Kubo. Nakamura. He's got a bit of space. Plays it across, trying to turn it towards goal. It's going to be, well, they want a penalty. The Japanese. Daisen Maeda went down. Referee not interested. VAR would obviously have a look themselves, but as it's played into the box here, it was a forceful tackle by Jean-Paul Van Hecker. I think he's got enough of the ball, and then it just brushes off the back of the leg of the Japanese player, Daisen Maeda. So a goal kick. And it feels like rough justice for Japan, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, and the match officials got it absolutely spot on. Last touch did come off of the Japanese attacker, Daisen Maeda. Maeda scored plenty of goals this season for Celtic, who spent the entire season chasing down Hearts at the top of the table before beating them on the last day to win the title. Now the Dutch have possession in the middle of their midfield with Frankie de Jong. Just holds it back over to the left-hand side, and it's gone out for a throw-in, which Mickey van der Ven will take. what is good to see amongst the crowd today is the Japanese and the Dutch fans all mixed in together, enjoying themselves. No trouble whatsoever, and that's part of the appeal of the World Cup competitions and the big major tournaments that are played around the world every 2 years, the likes of the Copa Americano and European competitions as well. And the global competition that comes every 4.5 years. We've only had to wait 3.5 years for this one. And in Group F, it is the Dutch and the Blue Samurai locked in at 0-0. Here is Van Dijk, gets it back from Frankie de Jong, out wide to Crescenzo Somerville with his bright yellow boots on this right-hand side. It's Van Dijk again in the centre circle. This time he gets it back from Reinders, who's had a fairly quiet start to the game. Van Dijk again to Mickey van den Ven. It's come off of Takafusa Kobo over on the far side and out for a throw-in. 17 minutes gone in this Group F encounter. Both sides will be keen on a win, but what they won't want is a defeat. You would expect those two to be the strongest two, but Sweden and Tunisia might have something to say about that. Here's Crescenzo Somerville, gets to the byline, gets the cross in, no one really there in orange, and it's flashed away off the head of Ritso Doan. Now there's a chance to get forward. Doan again over the halfway line, but it came off a Dutch defender. It's going to be a throw-in to Japan. There are no strangers to this competition and reaching the finals. A 7-match unbeaten run, albeit every single one of those 7 games was a friendly. It's 11 months since they last played a competitive match, Japan. 2026 has been a mixed bag for the Dutch. 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. They have won 6 of their last 10 in all competitions, including friendlies. Mickey van der Ven, lovely piece of skill to win the ball back and then keep the ball. Little Cruyff turn into the midfield. There it's carried forward by Gravenberch and out wide to another Liverpool player in Cody Gakpo. 3 of them out there for the Dutch. Great ball into the penalty area. Donald Mount. The only real chance of the game so far on the turn that was saved brilliantly by Zion Suzuki. This time he couldn't find a way to control the ball whilst in full flight. Van Hecker carrying it forward into the midfield for the Dutch. It's almost a weird move there from Van Hecker. He kept the run going and everyone stood still around him, both Dutch players and the Japanese, as if to say, yeah, come and fill your boots. Yeah, Japanese defenders were in their positions and weren't going to step out. Let the defender have the ball. Here's Cody Gakpo. They're not going to let him have too much time and space. It's nicely played by de Jong. Into Gakpo again. Spins inside on his right foot. Plays it back to Jean-Paul Van Hecker, who rolls it carefully wide to Somerville. Back to Van Hecker again of Brighton and Hove Albion. And out to the left and de Jong finding Gakpo. Gakpo squeezing it through. Gakpo gets the return, and that was a good interception by Tsuyoshi Watanabe. It's going to be a Dutch throw right down by the corner flag, taken very, very quickly by Mickey van der Ven. Van der Ven again. 20 minutes gone. 0-0. De Jong finding Somerville, reverses it back to Van Hecker. To shuffle a little further backwards than he needed to, otherwise Van Dijk, he gets it wide to his Liverpool teammate Gakpo. Now baby across from Reinders, counters it inside, gives it to Van Hecker rather than delivering the ball into the box. They're biding their time here, the Dutch. Van Dijk gets it wide, and this is back with Gakpo again. Gakpo. Such a good season he had the season before last for Liverpool when they won the league. But, Like so many Liverpool players in the season just gone, didn't quite happen for them. It's going to be a free kick to the Dutch, just inside the Japan half. The goal scoring status here is 0-0. Just that one chance for Malin on the turn that was turned around a post by Suzuki. Had little spells in this game, the Dutch, then the Japanese, and now it's the Dutch again keeping ball. Van Hekke just through the halfway line and through the centre circle, down the middle. Nice pass, but scoops up off the feet of Reinders, and it's cleared away forcefully by Watanabe to the far side. Taken in his stride by Mickey van der Ven, who's happy to go all the way back to Brighton goalkeeper Bart Verbruggen. Plays it out to Jean-Paul van Hekke. Group F getting underway tonight. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. So at the back with Watanabe, who's going to carry it towards this left-hand side. Plays it carefully into Daichi Kamada, who's come deep. Rolls it wide. Hiroki Eito coming deep to collect is Keito Nakamura. He's a willing player, Nakamura, who's relegated from the French top flight with Reims 12 months ago. He stuck with them. They just missed out on being promoted straight back again. Good World Cup, and he might just get a move back to the promised land again. Well, the drinks break is here, the hydration break. Time to take on some fluids. That 3-minute hydration break is compulsory, even if it turns cooler. Still get it. Part of the initiative. So the two coaches will get a chance to speak to their players. I think the message from the Dutch coach Ronald Koeman will be more the same, try and dominate, but maybe let's get a chance or two in at goal. Let's have a pop, let's create something. Let's not just play around with possession, let's try and get something on the end of this possession. Japanese know that they will be happy to let the Dutch have a lot of possession, but when they do have it, they do look a threat on the break. They've got pace in which to cause problems on the counter. Plenty of Japanese fans here this evening as well as the Dutch mixed in. Great atmosphere inside this excellent stadium in Dallas, the Dallas Stadium. An arena that has not 1, 2, 3, but well, it's hard to count them. I think it's 4 tiers really, but they vary around the stadium, almost 5 in places. It's a great arena, and there isn't an empty seat to be had here tonight. Lots of orange and lots of blue. Well, so far in this game, we've just seen the one chance. Donyell Malen somehow managing to turn away from Watanabe, get the shot in. Or Taniguchi, in fact, it was, not Watanabe. Got the shot in, and it was turned around the post by Zion Suzuki. That was after just 3 minutes of play. Well, the fluids have been taken on board. The Japanese head coach Hajime Moriyasu has called on all his players to congregate round, substitutes and all around him for a couple of words of wisdom. Now back out. The drinks break almost done. That will add 3 minutes to the end of the 45, and we get the board in exactly 20 minutes time. So the two sets of players back out again. We'll start with, where was we? I'm trying to think where we were. That would be my Achilles heel if I was a referee. I'd forget where we stopped, but I think it's going to be a throw into Japan, is it? Yeah, throw into Japan. Level with the edge of the Dutch penalty area, so immediately they return to attacking quarters here, the Japanese. played back by Ueda to Doan. On by Watanabe, but chance may be here for the Dutch to break. Donja Malen holds the ball up really well, the Roma frontman. That's of course of Aston Villa. Many fans of Villa disappointed that he was sold on. Listen, it's been another terrific season for Villa, winning the Europa, winning a place in the biggest tournament of all next season. Again, here come Japan though. Maeda. It's whipped into the penalty area by Kamada and headed away by Van der Ven. Netherlands 0, Japan 0 if you are just joining us. 26.5 minutes gone. Group F has a stalemate so far. It was, even it was by myself, builders, perhaps the game of the tournament on paper so far. One of the big shout-outs for a cracking game, this one on paper, when the draw was made, and for it to be the first game as well. Eiji Kamada playing it into the feet of Hiroki Ito. Now out wide to the left, and Keito Nakamura. Nakamura with a chance to run at Denzel Dumfries, who we haven't seen get forward an awful lot so far. He's a fullback that likes to get forward. In comes a cross from the left-hand side by Hiroki Ito. It's cleared away by the head of Jean-Paul Van Hecke. Now out to the right-hand side. It's a chance to cross for Doan. Doan into the penalty area. It's a chance here for Japan. Twisting and turning. He didn't take the chance when he should have done really there. And then the shot is blazed over the top by Hiroki Ito. But that was a chance for Keito Nakamura, and he didn't really make the most of it. He had that one split-second opportunity to get the shot in, and then eventually, well, he's leaning back as Hiroki Ito, and with these new match balls that they're using at this competition that do seem to go high when you're leaning back, it's probably always going to be no problem at all for the Dutch goalkeeper Broggen. He took the goal kick very quickly. This is out wide by the holding midfielder Frankie de Jong. De Jong inside to Van Hecke. Carries it forward into the feet of Reinders. Now Van der Ven. Dutch have had the lion's share of the possession and the only chance of the game so far. That was nearly a chance for the Japanese, not quite taken. Nakamura. There's Van Dijk. 3 Liverpool players in the starting lineup for the Dutch today. Played down the line to Van der Ven, gets the cross in, swept away quickly by Hiroki Ito. Some of it on the right-hand side. Van Hecke, midway inside the Japanese half. Somerville, haven't really seen him causing any danger so far. He's seen plenty of the ball on the right-hand side. Crescencio Somerville, once of Leeds United, now of course currently with West Ham, who were relegated in the final weeks of last season, and they will be planning the second flight in England next year, which means Somerville is almost certain to move to pastures new. A good World Cup will no doubt cement a move to somewhere decent, as it's played out wide again by Frankie de Jong. This is Gakpo, cuts inside. He's got past 2 defenders. Can he get the cross in? It's a deep one, and headed back across the face of goal and onto the roof of the net by Denzel Dumfries. He's done well to keep it in fact, Denzel Dumfries around the outside. Does it go out of play? No, he does keep it in play, but then he just, as he nods it back, he nods it over the top of the crossbar and onto the roof of the net. So a goal kick to Japan. We've played half an hour. It is 0-0. 15 minutes to half-time. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. Group F. Here come the Dutch. Real Malen holds it up. Plays it short to de Jong. Van Hecke. He's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Wasn't a great pass there. And it hit the referee. So the referee blows his whistle and will start with a drop ball, as per protocol. De Jong. Van Hecke plays it out wide to Somerville. Those yellow boots are bright. Keito Nakamura giving him something to think about. Goes back inside to Van Hecker of Brighton again. This is Van Dijk bringing in the Spurs defender Van der Ven. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. This is De Jong. Back out to Denzel Dumfries on the right-hand side. Midway inside the Japanese half, but Japan have held a rigid defensive shape to make it very, very difficult for the Dutch to break them down. Just that one chance in the game so far. Early chance for Donyell Malen on the turn. Turned around the post by goalkeeper Zion Suzuki with the save. It's going to be a Japanese throw over on the far side in the right back position, level with the edge of their own 18-yard box. Well, make sure that you watch all the action from Group F, in particular this game, through your local, regional or national television broadcaster. It is still 0-0, but it's a game of great intrigue. It's certainly worth the watch. Netherlands 0, Japan 0, 32 minutes on the clock. Van Hecker plays it into Reinders, who twists and turns and finds Gakpo. Gakpo sweeps one into the box. It's headed away by Taniguchi. Dutch have it back again. Well controlled by De Jong, and then fed forward by Van Hecker. Wide by Dumfries to Somerville. Back again to Van Hecker. Across to his captain, Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool to Liverpool. This is Gakpo. Cuts inside. Just played that decent ball in a couple of moments ago, but the Japanese defence were equal to it. 32.5 minutes gone. Still goalless in Dallas. And Somerville. Dumfries. To the feet of Donyell Malen. His first touch was a very, very heavy one. He's still trying to win the ball back, and he has succeeded in winning it back. Donyell Malen, a little bit hesitant there were the Japanese, closing it down quickly. Shogo Taniguchi to put it behind for a corner, but that was an unnecessary leak of possession there for Japan. They won it back off of Donyell Malen. It was a little bit slippery for Kamada, the Crystal Palace man. Donyell Malen took it off of him and was very quickly closed down by Shogo Taniguchi. So a corner to the Dutch, their first of the game. 33 minutes on the clock. Van der Ven's in there. Van Dijk's in there. Van Hecker's in there. Three very tall players. Add to that the likes of Gakpo, De Jong, Malen. They've got height of the Dutch. Can they make it count from this corner? Floated in by Reinders, headed towards goal, and the goalkeeper didn't know an awful lot about it. I think it was Jean-Paul Van Hecker. It's back in again, and this time it's Mickey van der Ven, and it's over the top of the crossbar. Well, it was an instinctive save more than anything else from Zion Suzuki. As it come in, I think it was Malen that actually got the flick. It was straight into the body of the goalkeeper. He went to catch it, hit his gloves and came back out, and luckily for him, it was cleared away by Shogo Taniguchi. It's a goal kick for the Japanese, and it's been played short to Watanabe. He lengthily clears up towards the halfway line. It looked like a push in the back by Iesi, or on Iesi Iedo. The referee says no, and it's brought forward by De Jong. De Jong finding Denzel Dumfries. He's got orange boots to go with the all-orange kit that the Dutch are wearing. This is Van Hecker, and now it's with Virgil van Dijk. Picking it up Reinders. Reinders does well, keeps hold of it, plays it to this near side. Reinders, of course, of Manchester City. Gianni Reinders. On the bench of got the likes of Quinton Timber, Memphis Depay, Wout Weghorst. It's a free kick here to the Dutch, which is going to be taken by Reinders. He's going to try and slip this one into the penalty area. It's wide on the right-hand side, at 25 yards from the corner flag. A couple of yards in, no wall. It is going to be a dangerous set play. Less than 10 minutes to go to half-time. Netherlands 0, Japan 0 in Group F. Whipped in, deep one. Headed down by Gakpo, and then slipping as he went to try and get on the end of it. Gakpo put his laces through it and launched it high over the the crossbar. The initial header down was by Daniel Mallet. Might have come off a defender, and then Gakpo sliding in, slammed it high over the crossbar. And you are listening to independent, studio-based, off-tube commentary of this Group F opener. It's Netherlands 0, Japan 0 at the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Nothing is being missed at the moment because Watanabe has a lace problem. Those laces have now been done up, and Japan have a goal kick way to our right. The group stages here are of great interest to everyone, of course, in this competition. What I can guarantee you is you won't get extra time and penalties. Not in this one. Just 3 points up for grabs, and Dutch will be pleased with their performance so far, even though they haven't really created an awful lot. It's a throw-in inside their own half, which Mickey van der Ven will take, midway inside the Dutch half. By the way, the roof inside this Dallas Stadium is closed tonight, so that's at least keeping the players appeased from the blistering sunshine outside. Van Dijk trotting up to the halfway line, giving it to De Jong. De Jong back to Van Dijk. De Jong, of course, of Barcelona. They've got some great players in this Dutch side. Perhaps not one of the favourites, but certainly one of those capable of going a long way in this competition. Here's Somerville. They'll need him to be ticky. He hasn't really got going yet. Not caused any problems. Maybe he can here. He's twisting and turning, trying to get the better of Nakamura. Gets it into the penalty area. It seems to bypass Denzel Dumfries. They were on a different wavelength, the two right-sided players, and it's cleared away by Japan. 7 minutes of the first half, plus injury time remaining. Virgil van Dijk plays it square to Jean-Paul Van Hecker. Now Dumfries spins away from Maeda. Van Dijk again, centre circle is his oyster. All on his own in that centre circle. Dutch have it all to themselves. Japan are happy to just stand off and say, you have it. It's all yours. We'll have our moments when we get the ball, and we could cause you problems on the counter-attack. Just think those 2 or 3 major injury blows might just have taken the edge away from Japan's hopes in this competition. We still believe they will go a long way in the competition, but there are a number of players missing at the moment, of course. That they are key players as well that are being missed. So out for the duration of the competition. A couple of them are. Here's Dumfries for the Dutch. Quickly closed down, and closed down well by Deze Maeda. So it'll be a throw into the Dutch. 0-0 the scoreline. Just a little over 5.5 minutes to go in this game. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. Here is Van Hecker. Cross to Virgil van Dijk. To Van Hecker again. Now Somerville. His bright yellow boots of Somerville with the bright orange kit make him stand out more than anyone. There's Van Dijk. Van Hecker. Wide to Dumfries. As I say, he is a right fullback who loves to get forward. He can play on the wing as well, but we haven't really seen much of that link up with Crescenzo Somerville. It has danger written all over it, but there's not really been that much danger. Virgil van Dijk just rolls it into Reinders of Manchester City, who curls it back inside to Van Hecker. Time and space for Denzel Dumfries inside the Japanese half. Neatly done by De Jong. Forward by Virgil van Dijk, but he's handed it straight to the Japanese, and this is where they're at their most dangerous. Deza Maeda gets it out wide to Nakamura. Nakamura beats his man, gets to the corner flag and lofts one in, but he's lofted it just behind the line and out for a goal kick. But that was a little on the sloppy side from Virgil van Dijk, which handed the Japanese the ball, and a little indication there that when they do win it back, they can be like an express train on the counter-attack. On that occasion, the Dutch were quick to get everyone behind the ball and close it out, but it wasn't a great delivery from Keito Nakamura. Over on this near side, went straight out for a goal kick. Japan have the ball back again, and they haven't had it for a while. Shogo Taniguchi. Is it square to Hiroki Ito? Watanabe. Ito. Got about 3 minutes of first half play to go. 3 minutes of hydration break to add on, plus any other stoppages, and there haven't been too many of them, to be honest, so probably looking at about 3, maybe 4 minutes added on, no more than that I wouldn't have thought, unless we get a major stoppage in between now and the end of the first half, which is Netherlands 0, Japan 0 here in Group F in the Dallas Stadium. Kamada. It's across to Doan on the right-hand side. Inside for Kubo. Kubo back to Kamada again, pulling the strings in the midfield. Rolled out wide by Watanabe. And Watanabe goes for the return, and he chips it in towards the penalty area, and it's hit first time, and it's just inches wide. That's a really big chance for Keito Nakamura. A massive chance for Japan to take the lead. It was a deep ball into the box, and it was just too high for Denzel Dumfries. He takes it down, and it's just wide of the mark, and it takes out the goalkeeper's water bottle on its way wide. The pink boots of Nakamura not quite able to hit the target. Vart Verbruggen was made to sweat there. Ball went wide in the end. Still 0-0. Best chance of the game so far for the Japanese. Nakamura with a shot that went wide. So 2 chances in this game, 1 at each end, and they've both come, well, 1 3 minutes into the game, and 1 3 minutes before half-time. Japan bringing the ball out from the back. Was with Kamada. Kamada again. There's a man down for the Japanese. I don't think we've had an injury stop so far. I think that's the first time a player has actually gone down and stayed down. Pleased to say that Kubo bounced up as quick as he went down. So we're back and underway. That's a refreshing sign, isn't it, when you don't see anyone go down. Good ball into the box, and it's the side netting. Great ball into Ueda, and Kamada opened up the Dutch defence, and Ueda had to hit it on the angle first time. It was the only chance he had to exploit the Dutch defence before it ran across him, and it was too wide, and he had no one in the box to aim for if he was going to cross it. So he went for the shot first time, and it travelled, and it was only just wide of the post and into the side netting. It was not like it hit the back of the side netting. It was very close to the post. And another nervy moment there, and suddenly, just before half-time, Japan have come very close with 2 shots just wide of the target to keep Verbruggen on his toes. That aside, Netherlands have dominated the possession and had the only chance of the game up until a couple of minutes ago. But 2 good chances there. First for Nakamura and then for Ueda. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. We're into stoppage time at the end of the first half. And 3 minutes is all that we're going to see added on. No injury stoppages. It's been free-flowing football from these 2 sides, rolling up their sleeves and getting on with it. No injuries at all. As I say, we just saw Kubo go down, and he bounced pretty much back up again. So no need to add on any time. So throw in to Japan, deep inside their own half, but just as he's about to take the throw in there, Doan, he realises there's a ball on the pitch, so he drops the ball and runs back 20 yards to gather the ball that's on the pitch, and runs back again, and he's going to take this throw down the line, flicked on nicely by Kubo. A bit of a tumble there did Sano. Let's play on, says the referee. Two Japanese players get in one another's way. Referee blows his whistle and gives a free kick to the Netherlands for an infringement just moments before that. This is Gakpo on the left-hand side, on his right foot, finding the feet of Gravenberch. And then the cross by Malon, a forceful header away, good header by Shogo Taniguchi. This is De Jong of Barcelona. Back out wide to this near side, Denzel Dumfries cuts back inside, still Dumfries to the edge of the penalty area. He has to play it backwards to Van Dijk. Referee has to jump out of the way to avoid the ball touching him. Now it's Gakpo back again to Van der Ven and Van Dijk. This is De Jong. Now Dumfries takes the pass off of Van Hecker. Somerville seemed to lose it in transit there, but he's still got it. Finds Van Hecker again, who turns and wins a corner. He's done well there, Van Hecker, considering he's a big central defender playing as a right winger. He's managed to knock it inside, and Keito Nakamura has deflected it behind for a corner in the dying embers of this first half. We've played 2 of the 3 minutes of added time. Second corner of the first half for Netherlands, and for Reinders to take, the Manchester City man. They've got a Tottenham man, they've got 3 Liverpool players, they've got a Manchester City player. Lots of top clubs around Europe have players on the park in this one. Reinders with a corner in towards Malon, who gets the header away, but it didn't have much power, and it was a pluck out in the air rather than a save for Zion Suzuki, who can bowl it out over arm to Ito. Down the line to Nakamura. The 3 minutes of added time are up. The half-time whistle is blown by Ismail Elfad. And, well, it's goalless at half-time. Malon with an early chance for the Dutch, who have dominated possession, but without creating too much else beyond that early chance. And 2 chances for the Japanese towards the end of the half for Nakamura and for Ueda. But at half-time, it is the Netherlands 0, it is Japan 0, and we've got the second half to come in just a few minutes' time. We'll catch you on the other side.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Welcome back for the second half here at the Dallas Stadium. 0-0 at half-time. Ronald Koeman making his way out. The two teams are out on the pitch. We're ready to get underway. Doesn't look as if either side has made a change. It's goalless at half-time between the Netherlands and Japan. This is the opening fixture in Group F of the tournament. And, as I say, we're in Arlington. We're in Texas. We're in the Dallas Stadium. The roof closed. No blazing sunshine here as Van Hecker clears an early ball forward for Japan with his head. Van Hecker again tangled with Nakamura over on the far side. We'll run through the two teams for you in just a second. Let's just see what Dumfries can do here. He releases Somerville down the right hand side. He's into the penalty area, pulls it across and it's skidded away. Just about got a touch there, did Watanabe. It's with Reinders. Reinders back to Van der Ven. And back inside from Frankie de Jong. And that was a big chance for the Dutch. And here is a chance maybe for Gravenberg. But he tried one thing too many there. Denzel Dumfries. And then back out wide from de Jong to Somerville, who's burst into the box there, caused all sorts of problems for the Japanese defence. Dumfries squeezes it inside to Daniel Malot, tried to play it backwards, no one really there. Bringing the ball out as Kaisho Sano. Let's quickly run through the two teams. First of all, the Dutch. And they've got Verbruggen in goal. Dumfries, Van Hecker, Van Dijk and Van der Ven at the back. Gravenberg, de Jong and Reinders in midfield. Gakpo and Somerville down the flanks, Malon down the middle. Go through the Japanese side in a second. Let's just see what becomes of this early pressure from the Dutch. Made a solid start to the first half. They've made a solid start to the second half. Somerville and then across the face of goal from Denzel Dumfries. There was no one there. When I say no one, I include defensively no one. And it scoots across the face of goal and away to this near side and out for a throw. But that was a chance. And Dumfries getting forward more in this second half already, which we can see, than he did in the first half. They've taken the handbrake off as far as getting the fullbacks forward, it seems, the Dutch. But here come Japan, who will be more than happy to see the Dutch take one or two more chances. It might just open things up for them. They have Suzuki in goal. They have Hiroki Ito, Shogo Taniguchi and Tsuyoshi Watanabe at the back. Then you've got Nakamura and Doen, the two wing backs. Sano and Kamado holding the midfield. Maeda and Kubo in behind. Ayase Ueda in attack. Here is Nakamura. That's too high for him, and it goes out of play on the far side for a throw-in, which will be taken by Denzel Dumfries. 3 minutes into the second half. Netherlands 0, Japan 0. Throw-in to be taken by Dumfries. Dumfries forward. Flicked on by Gravenberg. Trying to get onto it as Malon, but it's whisked forward by Koshu Sano. Sano again gets there ahead of Reinders, and came off of Reinders last, so it's going to be a throw into the Blue Samurai. You're listening to independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this Group F opener. Netherlands against Japan. 0-0 at half-time here at the Dallas Stadium. And we're 3.5 minutes into the second half, where it's still 0-0. Still waiting for the first goal. Still waiting for Japan to concede the first time in 2026. And they've played 3.5 matches now in 2026 without conceding. Goes without saying, make sure you tune into all the action from Group F, including this match, through your local or regional or national television broadcaster. Here is Gakpo down the left-hand side. He's been brought down in a tangle by Ritsu Doan. Gakpo slitted it between the two defenders and then run into Doan. Not a lot Doan could do about it. Put down by Tiani Reinders. Chance to deliver that ball into the box. The Orange Army expectant. Chewing on his gum, Reinders. What can he conjure up from the left-hand side edge of the penalty area? It's almost like a short corner, this, in hockey terms. Nearly 5 minutes played in this second half. Reinders lifts it into the near post. Pretty poor corner, really. In the end, it's headed away with ease by Kubo. And then it's played out wide by De Jong. Back in, super header. Oh yes, in off the post. And it's Virgil van Dijk that scores. And the Dutch are ahead with 5 minutes gone in this second half. Great ball in from Denzel Dumfries. And it's a glancing header. And the moment it leaves the forehead of Virgil van Dijk, you can just estimate where it's going. It's kissing the post and dropping in to give the Dutch an early lead in this second half. Well, it's a great header. His header was a good one. It's 79 days since he last scored for his country. Scored against Norway, but this is a great ball in. He's definitely onside. He gets away from his marker and plants the ball in off the far post. It's a great header down. It's done to perfection from Van Dijk, who scores. Yeah, scored against Norway back in March in a friendly. Last competitive goal was also for his country against Finland in a qualifier in this competition. Hasn't scored for Liverpool for a while. But he's gone and got one there, Virgil van Dijk, and the Liverpool defender gives his side the lead. Well, it was a great ball in. We haven't seen enough. I've said it in the first half in a couple of instances. Haven't seen enough of Denzel Dumfries. Well, he's been getting forward more in this second half, and he plays in a brilliant ball. It's a delightful ball, and he stayed up. There were 5 players in and around that penalty area when Virgil van Dijk faces up to the ball in from Dumfries. We're just seeing the VAR references. He's definitely onside. It's a cracking header downwards with pace off the base of the post and pings in to the back of the net. Well, Japan won't go crashing out of the competition on the basis of a defeat tonight, but it would leave them with plenty to do, and we're far from easy games against Sweden and Tunisia to come. Next up for the Japanese is a Saturday showdown in Mexico against Tunisia. That's in Guadalajara. And then they're back here in this stadium in Texas a week on Thursday to take on the Swedes to wrap up their Group F campaign. Remember, third place teams will be going through a plenty. There will be a round of 16, so 32 teams going through. So I say that again, around of 32. Now here's Van Hecker, plays it straight through the middle, straight to the goalkeeper. Round of 32 for the first time in the World Cup competitions. It's going to be a chance for a lot of the third place teams in this competition to dig in their heels and make it through. Of course, they won't get a favourable draw. They will almost certainly get a group winner from the early rounds of the competition. As Gakpo plays it forward towards Gravenberg. Gravenberg knocked it against the defender and it's out for a throw-in to Japan. In fact, it's a throw-in to the Netherlands. Van der Ven. Back to the goal scorer, Van Dijk. Van Dijk finding the feet of De Jong. Denzel Dumfries, brilliant ball in for the opening goal. Well, competition is beginning to kick in, and the Netherlands have announced their arrival with a solid performance so far in the opening 55 minutes or so. They lead here by a goal to nil thanks to Virgil van Dijk's header. Here is Van Dijk on the ball, just inside the Japanese half, left of centre. Calms things down, slows things down and gives it to Van Hecker. Back again to Van Dijk. Van Hecker. And then Dumfries rolls it carefully back to a largely redundant Bart Verbruggen, making his 30th appearance for the Dutch tonight, the 23-year-old Brighton and Hove Albion goalkeeper. It's now with Frankie de Jong in that midfield. He doesn't often give the ball away, the Barcelona man. It's with Van Hecker. Little chip forward, it's a good ball into the channel, and it's Somerville that manages to pull it back. It was just out of the reach of the right foot of Daniel Malen, and it's been put behind. It will be a corner to the Dutch. And where they didn't really get much change out of the Japanese in the first half, the Dutch have already created a couple of openings down the right-hand side in the early stages of the second half. Somerville got to the byline there. Couldn't quite link up with Daniel Malen. Having a look at the goal from the ref cam at the moment. Great header downwards. He's not had to leave the ground particularly. Van Dijk. Great pace from Gravenberg to get back and knocks it back to Verbruggen, and he's kicked it straight out on the far side. It's going to be a throw into Japan. 56 minutes gone. They trail by a goal to nil. It's out to Nakamura. Nakamura pulls it back to the edge of the 6-yard box. It was just out of the reach of Watchalong. Rolled forward again by Hiroki Ito into the hole. This is Maeda. What can he conjure up? Pulls it back. This is Nakamura. Fires it. 1-1. Great finish from Nakamura into the corner. It's a cracking goal. He pulls it, and I think the goalkeeper is expecting it. I think we were all expecting it to go the other way. But Nakamura has pulled it to the goalkeeper's right and into the corner, and Japan have got themselves a leveller. They weren't behind for very long. And it's a great finish from Kito Nakamura. Well, he's got an excellent goal-scoring record as Nakamura. The Stud Rams man, and he was inside the penalty area and he receives the ball. He shoots. The big question is, as he shoots, it goes through past Daizen Maeda. Now, Maeda was potentially standing in an offside position. Did he infringe what the goalkeeper saw? It touches Maeda and goes in. The last time he scored in this competition, 738 days ago. His last international goal was over 200 days ago. But he does have a good record scoring for his country. Now, it did brush off of Maeda, who did look offside, but the automated VAR has deemed the goal worthy, and the goal does stand, and we're at 1-1. 58 minutes gone, and this Group F match, which was stalemate at half-time, has seen both sides score in the opening 12 minutes of the second half. It's a Dutch throw, which Dumfries is going to take. Now, we know that Dumfries has a really long throw, and Van Hecker is forward for this one, and Van Dijk is forward for this one. Van Hecker goes up. It's headed away by Hiroki Ito. Out the play over on the far side, and Dumfries can do it all again, slightly further away from the corner flag this time, and that might just serve only to change the angle slightly. It might work in their favour here, the Dutch. Denzel Dumfries winds himself up, leans against the advertising board. More height on this one. Goalkeeper comes out and claims it, and well, he claimed it with ease there, but the referee has asked for it to be retaken. He stopped the play whilst the throw was taken to have a word for holding by Shogo Taniguchi on Donyell Mallon. So Dumfries is going to launch a third one into the box here. That last one had more height than length. This one's got more length than height. Still headed away by the goal scorer of the equalising goal, Nakamura. It's one apiece here. Japan on the back foot at the moment, though. Ueda, their front man, is doing some defending in his own box. He got the last touch in a showdown with Virgil van Dijk, and it's gone behind for a corner to the Dutch, who have responded well to the Japanese equaliser. Dutch corner. Orange putting on the pressure after Japan had equalised through a very well taken goal from Nakamura. Inside the penalty area, he arced his run back out again before reversing a shot with his right foot past the goalkeeper. In comes the ball, and Van Hecker can't really bring it under control. A chance to get away maybe here for Kubo. He's carried it really well, and this is where Japan is so dangerous on the counter-attack. On the near side of the pitch, it's Watanabe. He's been chopped down, and the first yellow card of the game has gone to Somerville, who's not known for his defensive qualities. He got back there and took the ankle of the breakaway defender Tsuyoshi Watanabe. And so Somerville becomes the first yellow card statistic in this match. Dutch 1, the Blue Samurai 1. I'm pleased that it's kicked off in this second half with some goals. Let's see if we can conjure up another one here. This is a dangerous free kick for the Japanese. Group F has only just kicked off. We've got the game later on today, Sweden against Tunisia. We've got two standing over the ball. It does look as if Kubo is going to launch this one in. Indeed he does. Towards the penalty area, headed away by Van Hecker. Back to Nakamura. The first yellow card coming on 61 minutes in this game. Out towards the left-hand side. It's kept in play by Nakamura. Reverses it down the line, getting to the byline and scooping it back across the face of goal was Maeda. And that's a foul. This time on Somerville by Hubo. And that will be a free kick to the Dutch. And that was a dangerous ball across the face of goal by Maeda. No one really there. Tried desperately to jump out of the way of the ball for the equalising goal, did Dazen Maeda, and it did scrape off his foot. I just wonder, is he going to be officially awarded the goal for that slight touch? Did look as if he was offside, but it was cleared by VAR. You're listening to independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this Group F first stage game between the Netherlands and Japan. at the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's 1-1. It's a good game. Japan striking back through Nakamura to cancel out the effort from the header of Virgil van Dijk. 1-1. Here is Van Dijk over the halfway line, trotting gently forward. And it back inside to Van Hecker. Van Hecker looks up through the lines. Gravenberg. He's been fairly quiet today, Gravenberg. Twisting, turning, playing it out wide. This is Somerville. Somerville cuts inside. Somerville shoots. Somerville scores. It's 2-1. What a brilliant goal by Crescenzo Somerville. The Dutch are back in front, and this game really has exploded into life now. Crescenzo Somerville with an explosive finish into the corner. And the Dutch lead for a second time in this second half. And he makes an immediate beeline for the bench and celebrates with all the substitutes and all the staff. Well, it was started and assisted, in fact, by the Liverpool man Gravenberg. And when he plays it out wide, he comes inside and he whips one across the goalkeeper, and it's in off the post again for the second time. And it's 2-1. Great finish from Crescenzo Somerville. It's his first international goal. It's only his third cap. He's burst onto the scene since really exploding in the second half of the season for West Ham United as they improved. But that was an almighty good finish from Crescenzo Somerville into the corner, off the post and in. Cutting in from the right-hand side on his left foot. A really good finish. We've seen some good goals in this second half. It's 2-1. We'll have none of that 0-0 talk that we had at half-time. This one really has exploded into life now. But Japan have already demonstrated that they're more than capable of digging a goal out of somewhere. It's 2-1 and it's a game on. Here is Virgil van Dijk into that centre circle. Denzel Dumfries rather uncomfortably side foots it back inside to Van Hecker. Well, this could be the pivotal fixture in Group F that sets the tone. And the Dutch have got the advantage at this moment in time, but it's the Japanese that are trying to explode from the half, but they're giving it away, and now there could be a run for Gakpo into the penalty area. Still Cody Gakpo cuts inside. Still Cody Gakpo went to shoot. It was an excellent last-ditch block from Hiroki Ito because every one of his teammates in front of him failed to stop Cody Gakpo, who looked destined to score there, weaving inside, and eventually it was Ito that made the all-important block. I think he may have been offside. In fact, he was offside there, Gakpo. It wouldn't have counted anyway. So it didn't really matter. So there you have it, 2-1 to the Dutch. And a change for the Japanese. Junya Ito. Junya Ito, rather. He's coming on. Ito, he plays in Belgium for Genk. This will be his 70th cap. The 33-year-old midfielder. And they're immediately on the front foot. Oh, what a strike that was, just over the bar. Well, that was very nearly a goal back again for the Japanese. And it was Takafusa Koba. And he's taken it on the run inside. He's gone for goal early. It was just out of the reach of Verbruggen and just over the crossbar, but it was very close indeed. And with that, the referee announces the second half drinks break. So hydration break time. Daisen Maeda, by the way, was the player that was replaced by Ito, Junya Ito. So it's his 70th appearance for his country. He's got 15 goals. They could do with one from him now. Veteran as well is Junya Ito, 33 years of age. Most certainly going to be his last swan song at the global stage for his country. Midway through the second half. So Somerville at this moment in time is the match winner. All eyes on him. It's a worldie of a goal as well. We've seen some cracking goals. Obviously the header to get things started from Virgil van Dijk, kissing the post and in. Really well placed header as well. Great ball in from Denzel Dumfries. But a Japanese struck back very quickly. Keito Nakamura with a goal to make it 1-1. Very good finish. Left foot, yeah, right-footed from the left into the corner. Really good finish as well. Cut it back and caught the goalkeeper by surprise. Caught us all by surprise, really. But then Crescenzo Somerville with a perler of a goal. A worldie, if you like, into the bottom corner after cutting inside and receiving the pass from Ryan Gravenberch. Well, the hydration break is over. It's the Netherlands that lead Japan by 2-1 with just a little over 21 minutes to go. There will be those mandatory 3 minutes added on to the end of the 45 when stoppage time is announced. That is because of the hydration break, and Koopmeiners is going to be the first change for the Dutch. The midfielder who plays for Juventus, 28-year-old coming on, and Memphis Depay as well. First player to come off is Daniel Malen. If they're going to stick Gakpo up top or whether they will push Memphis Depay up there. But Malen makes his way off. It's going to be three changes. So the first one on Memphis Depay. Looks like he's going to go straight up top. So Somerville is coming off too, and so too Reinders. They're the three players coming off. And, they are replaced by Depay, Koopmeiners, and Jurrien Timber is the other player to come on. They will go down that right-hand side in front of Dumfries. They are both capable of playing on the wing, both capable of playing in the right-back position. They can easily interchange and cover for one another, and that will probably work quite well. Depay has gone up top, as we suggested he perhaps would. Hiroki Ito plays it inside to Taniguchi, back to Ito again. Out wide to the left wing back, Nakamura. His goal has got Japan back on level terms before the Dutch scored again, but the Dutch are giving it away. This is a ball inside from the far side of Frankie de Jong, but he can't find a teammate. And that's the first time I've registered him not finding a teammate with one of his slices of possession. In fact, I think it was Koopmeiners rather than... yeah, it was Koopmeiners. Kubo's gone down injured at the moment for Japan. He's been wiped out by Denzel Dumfries. We haven't had an injury stoppage yet, and he's back on his feet rather quickly, is Kubo. He's been told he needs to leave the pitch for a second without any treatment. So referee's going to restart the game with a drop ball to Japan. So triple change from the Dutch. Timber going into the midfield. On the right-hand side. Slightly more conservative move. I don't think you're going to see him as far forward as Crescenzo Somerville, but here's Gakpo into the penalty area, cuts back in. It's Gakpo with a shot. It's a good save at the near post by Zion Suzuki. Turned it around the post with his right hand. Gakpo so dangerous in those positions. This time he was onside, receiving the ball out by the corner flag, cutting inside, getting the better of Doan getting the shot away. Good save by the goalkeeper. Had his near post covered well. Memphis Depay is going to take this corner for the Dutch. And they're still down to 10 men here because an ice pack has been administered onto the knee of Kubo. It's a deep delivery. The header at the far post was a rather floppy one, really, from Jean-Paul Van Hecker under pressure, and it drops into the arms of goalkeeper Zion Suzuki. 2-1 the Dutch lead. We've played 73 minutes. Taniguchi. Played out towards that far side by Watanabe. Back inside again by Taniguchi. And rolled out wide. Doan. It's left by it was left by Watanabe, who's gone forward. And then Watanabe again wins a corner. Good strong defending by Mickey van der Ven from the pass into the channel by Ritsu Doan. They're playing with 10 men at the moment, Japan, and they've won themselves a corner. Taking a real bash to the knee, did Kubo, and he's going to be replaced. There's going to be 2 changes here for the Japanese. Looks like Kubo's coming off, is he? I don't know. Well, Ritsu Doan is, and so is Watanabe. Watanabe, Kubo and Doan are the 3 players going off. They're going to be replaced by Tomiyasu of Arsenal. He's going to come on. Ogawa has come on as well. Koki Ogawa. We'll cover those changes in a second. Let's just see what comes of this corner. Junior Ito is going to take it. Whips it outbound, and it will come all the way back through again, and he was leaning back slightly with the shot there. High over the crossbar from Ueda. So a goal kick to the Dutch, who lead here by 2 goals to 1. We're into the last 15 minutes. And Sugawara off, Sugawara on, right back for Watanabe, just to try and give them a little bit more leverage to go forward. But here's Gakpo. They could get picked off if they're not careful here. Japan looking for that equalising goal. It's helped on by Depay. And just trying to smuggle the ball through as Coop Miners, but it's pounced upon by goalkeeper Suzuki. Suzuki will clamber forward to the edge of his penalty area and drops a long kick forward. It's headed up in the air by the Brighton defender Jean-Paul Van Hecker. For a moment there, it looked like he might be in a bit of a spot of bother, but he managed to win the second ball too. This is Kamada. Holds it up. Gives it all the way back to Sugawara, who can get forward. Junior Ito has come over to the right-hand side now. Tomiyasu. He's another player that can play pretty much anywhere. He's joined the back line. Just change of formation really from the Japanese in search of an equalising goal. This is Sugawara, who's playing as a right-sided defender now. Ball into the box wasn't a great one. It's gone all the way out to the far side. It's kept in play. Played it down the line, did Hiroki Ito. He thought he had the throw, and he was right, he does, but he takes it about 5 yards back from where it actually went out of play. Looks to me like they've gone 4-2-3-1, Japan. The ball in towards Iida, who went for the scissor kick, but it was flicked on ahead of him by Ogawa. Back out to that left-hand side. Nakamura. Ito is on this near side. What can he conjure up? Kito Nakamura on the left, Ito on the right. Ito will take this throw. Cleared away by Mickey van der Ven. The Japanese and Dutch fans seem to be getting on like a house on fire tonight inside the stadium. It's a good mixture all around the stadium of Japanese and Dutch fans having great fun together, which is what the World Tournaments are all about. And this particular global affair, it's great to see the Japanese fans mixing and enjoying themselves and making friends with the Dutch. Netherlands 2, Japan 1, 11.5 minutes to go. Plus injury time, of course, at least 3 for the hydration break. So we're probably looking at another 15 minutes of time to add on here. Since they've gone 2-1 up, they've had a couple of little chances of the Dutch to finish it off once and for all, but they've got a bit quiet in the last few minutes. It's Japan that are asking the questions, and they've got themselves a throw over on the far side, which is going to be taken by Hiroki Ito. So Tomiyasu has gone into the heart of the defence, and he's joined Taniguchi, and it looks like Ito and Sugawara have gone more orthodox fullbacks. But here's a pullback to the edge of the penalty area. It was a great ball as well. Great pullback by Koshi Sano. The shot was from Junya Ito, and it was straight at the goalkeeper, and a comfortable save for Bart Verbruggen. Still 2-1, just over 10 to go. And it's Japan that are putting on the pressure at the moment. The Dutch trying to hold on to what they've got. Back into Kamada. Crystal Palace man needs some help. Comes in the shape of Sanu. Back again to Kamada. So drive forward by Taniguchi. Then played down the line by Sugawara. Sugawara back in again to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu tries to play the ball through, splicing the defence, trying to find Koki Ogawa. So it was an easy ball in the end for Verbruggen, and Verbruggen has cleared it straight out of play on this near side. 9 attempts at goal from the Dutch, 7 from Japan, 7 on target from the Dutch, 2 from Japan. They're going to make a change here, are the Dutch. They're going to bring on Nathan Aki. He's going to replace Ryan Gravenberg. Well, that's a midfielder going off and a defender coming on. I imagine they're probably going to, well, just after Japan have gone 4 at the back to match up with them, they're going to go with a change of formation, I would imagine. Aki will go in at the heart of the defence. So Aki's gone in left back, and Mickey van der Ven has gone over to right fullback, which means Denzel Dumfries can pop a little further forward. So that's like change. We'll see Aki play, as I say, at left back, Dumfries going forward, and van der Ven at right back. That seems to be the way it's gone for the Dutch. Tomiyasu. Sugawara. It's a neat flick by Ito. Cleared away with ease. I haven't really seen much of Quinton Timber yet for the Dutch. Timber, of course, of Marseille. He's a midfield player, can play on the flanks as well. It's an interesting ball up towards Aki. Aki's beaten to it in the air by Junya Ito, and Ito giving Aki a hard time of things. It came off of Aki last, right down by the corner flag. It's going to be a throw rather than a corner. Yellow card is now shown by the American referee Ismail Alfat. And it was for Memphis Depay. He went in shoulder first on Taniguchi. Referee didn't like that too much. Showed him a yellow. Shogo is going to come on. Ueda is the player coming off. So Shogo comes on. He plays for Wolfsburg. Only his third appearance. Never scored for his country. Now would be a very good time for the striker to get that long overdue first goal for Japan. But they've given away a free kick, a foul on De Jong, who quickly bounces back up to his feet. He's got some sorting out to do here. Well, the Dutch are creeping up towards a very good opening fixture victory in Group F. By no means been exhilarating today, but they played reasonably well, taking their chances well. Twice they've gone ahead. Broby is coming on for the Dutch as well. Your changes. Confirmation of the Depay, Memphis Depay yellow card as well. Netherlands 2, Japan 1. 5.5 minutes on the clock, plus injury time. We've still got 10 to run here. Gakpo's the player that's come off for Broby, by the way. On a yellow card, the only one out there on a yellow card. There's only been 2 yellows in this whole game. It's been a very clean contest, to be honest. Been no falling out, not so far anyway. And Japan will feel there's still a chance in this game. You feel there's still a chance to be had, one end or the other. Sugawara plays it back inside to Koshu Sano. And it's forward by Taniguchi, over to the left-hand side. It's whipped into the penalty area by Hiroki Ito. Doesn't get beyond the first defender. It's back in again now with Taniguchi. Whipped across the face of goal. It'll come all the way back out again. Ito hangs it in, headed away by Van Dijk. And it's back in again, this time with the header from Takehiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's header went nowhere in particular in the end. Tomiyasu now plays for Ajax, former Arsenal man, 27-year-old, 44th cap today for him. Japan free kick on the right-hand side. It's about 28, 29 yards from goal. It's level with the corner edge of the penalty area, right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Junior Ito. 69,286 inside an 80,000 capacity stadium. It feels more full than that. Carrying the ball forward, Tomiyasu. And whipped into the box again. It's headed away by the Dutch and by Van der Ven. All hands to the pump now. They've gone 5 at the back, the Dutch, to try and keep the Japanese at bay. Ito, who looks pretty dangerous. His nice play, gets into the box. They win a corner. It wasn't a great touch by Daichi Kamada, but he's managed to win himself a corner. Van der Ven arguing with the assistant referee, something that he felt didn't quite go his team's way. I think he felt, actually, Mickey Van der Ven in a battle to the number 15s. Mickey Van der Ven pushed it against Kamada. 2 London-based players coming into lock. And the ball is cleared away at the near post from the corner from Kamada. This is Sugawara back inside again to Sano. On the left-hand side, Nakamura, whose excellent goal Leveled things off for the Japanese. They're looking for an equaliser now. It's Ito into the box, and he's won another corner. This time turned behind by Denzel Dumfries. And they're all hands to the pump at the moment, the Dutch, to hold on to what they've got. Netherlands 2, Japan 1. In comes the corner. Header towards goal. Oh, yes, it's 2-2. It's a cracking header. And an equalising goal from Koki Ogawa. With 2 minutes to go, Japan equalise. Well, you felt there was one more big chance in this game. I said it. And the corner comes in and Koki Ogawa heads it against the defender and it flies up out of the reach of Verbruggen and into the top corner. And Japan are level. It's 2-2. Well, it's been a cracking second half, this one. And they level things off, Japan, with a goal from a corner. And he heads it, and the goalkeeper just can't keep it out. It's a really good header. I'm not sure who it hits. I think it might have hit Daichi Kamada. In which case, it's going to be Kamada's goal. Delight for the Japanese manager, Hajime Moriyasu. Well, all the acclaim goes to the man that headed the ball, Koki Ogawa, but I got a feeling that might well be Kamada's goal. And it's 2-2. And the Dutch, who had closed up their shop in the hope of holding on for a victory, look as if they're only going to take a point after this. Shocking moment for them, where they have conceded to a goal from a header. And there was a degree of fortune about it. It hit Daichi Kamada. The goal has been given to Kamada as opposed to Koki Ogawa. Officially, it goes to Kamada. And though everyone had their eyes on Koki Ogawa celebrating, he headed it against Kamada and in. So it's 2-2, and the Crystal Palace man has equalised. And there will be 6 minutes of added time in this magnificent Dallas Stadium. Don't forget, you can also watch along the action in Group F, including this match, on your local, regional or national television broadcaster. That's a foul. That will be a yellow card, I suspect, for Mickey van der Ven. It was a needless hold on to Junya Ito. And it's a free kick to the Japanese. You just wonder if the Japanese might fancy a winner here. Yellow card for Mickey van der Ven. Played nearly a minute of the 6 added on. Netherlands 2, Japan 2. 0-0 at half-time. It's been a cracking game. 2 comebacks from the Japanese. Some great goals. We've thoroughly enjoyed this one. It's been of the highest order. Daichi Kamada with an equalising goal. He knew nothing about it. It just clipped him on the head and went flying up into the top corner past the goalkeeper. A Crystal Palace player with a late equaliser past a Brighton and Hove Albion goalkeeper, and anyone that knows their football will know that those two teams are arch rivals in the English top flight. Crystal Palace will enjoy that one. Netherlands 2, Japan 2. A minute and a half into 6 minutes of stoppage time. A long ball forward this time. It will be claimed by Verbruggen. I think it's easy to say that this has probably been one of the best games of the tournament so far, a 2-2. Even 0-0 at half-time, it was intriguing in its own right. But Japan have been a bit more forthright in their attacking in this second half as well, with 2 goals of their own. Dutch have taken their chances. There's been plenty of great goals in this game. 2-2 between 2 sides looking to qualify for the knockout stages and the round of 32, and a point won't be a disaster for either of them. The Dutch will feel, having led twice, that this is an opportunity slipping through their fingers. Wide by De Jong. Cross comes in from Dumfries, who is a great deliverer of the ball. And the header was just off of target. I think the referee has called it a foul on Jung Koopmeiners. Just seeing the ref cam of the goal. The goal took all the plaudits, all the credit, and led the celebrations, but it was Daichi Kamada that got the final touch, and he takes the goal. I don't think Japan's players will be too bothered who has the goal, as long as they can take a point from this game, and it would be a very good point for the Japanese, who you feel, having twice gone behind and come back, they would be the happier of the two. De Jong out to Dumfries again, who's always got a good cross in him. Cross for the Van Dijk opener. Gets another cross in, this time bounces once and into the arms of goalkeeper Zion Suzuki. Drops to the ground, 2.5 minutes of stoppage time left. Suzuki rams a long high kick into the far side advertising hoardings and up into the front rows of the stand. One lucky Japanese fan has got his hands on the ball. He feels as if he's just won the lottery. Back inside on Sugawara. It's the Dutch that are on the front foot at the moment, trying to find a way to claim a late winner. Van Dijk's pass across. He's a little behind Van Hecker, but Van Hecker's got it. Gives it to De Jong. De Jong shrugs off the attentions of Daichi Kamada. Van der Ven is back on the left-hand side again now. Seems to have swapped it around slightly. He's more left-sided of the back three. Was playing as a wing-back now is Mickey van der Ven on the right, on the left-hand side. Here is Aki of Manchester City, of course, former Bournemouth man. And the ball out to Depay. Depay quickly knocks it down the line. Cross coming in from Memphis Depay. From the ball down the line from Dumfries, sorry, not Depay. Dumfries to Depay, not Depay to Depay. It wasn't all Depay's doing that. Here is Van Dijk. Rolls it forward again. This is Koopmeiners, chips it over the top, headed away forcefully by Tomiyasu. Both sides would love to win this, but what they don't want is a late goal to leave them with nothing. Here come the Dutch. It's a chip from Depay across the face of that 6-yard line. And out to this near side, Mickey van der Ven will collect it down by the corner flag on the left-hand side. Plays it back inside again. Depay, edge of the penalty area, nipped off his toes by Sano. And then back out wide to Ito. It's Japan's turn to try and get forward. We are, what, 20 seconds away from the final whistle. It looks like this one is going to end in a stalemate. Here is Hiroki Ito. Slows things down inside his own half. Japan know that they've done the job. And indeed, there goes the final whistle. It's a great comeback, not once but twice from Japan. Virgil van Dijk headed the Dutch into an early second half lead. It was cancelled out by Nakamura's finish. Crescenzo Sommerveld with a brilliant goal made it 2-1 to the Dutch, and it felt that they were closing in on 3 points in the opening game in Group F. But with just 2 minutes to go, the Japanese had other ideas. Ogawa looked to have scored it, but it was Daichi Kamada who got the final touch, and the Crystal Palace man claiming a point. It's Japan that take the point. It's the Netherlands 2, Japan 2. Smiles all round between the two coaches. Very clean and crisp game. A great advert for football. And this Group F match has finished in stalemate, 2-2. But it's been a great game, and I hope you've enjoyed it with us. It's been a pleasure having you alongside us for the last 90 minutes. And yeah, 2-2, the final score. Thank you very much for your company, and we'll catch you all again soon.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook,